one of the first things I'm going to have to do on the Beast is change out the battery. Normal battery voltage for a 12-volt vehicle is, at rest, 12.6 volts, because there are 6 2.1-volt cells in every battery. This one, which has a date of 7/21, so a year and 4 months ago, has 12.18 volts this morning when I checked it. Yesterday it was 12.2 or so. It's 40 degrees this morning. So I got slow cranking when I turn the engine. Hot, and especially cold, or hot. Cold, it's, but hot is. Car been sitting a while before I got it. Anyway, everything I found online says don't worry about radio codes, don't worry about resetting computers, don't worry about the steering angle sensor, ABS, all that kind of stuff, and the airbag lights. Don't worry about them. Just pull the battery cables off, put the new battery in, and hook it up, start it, and drive straight at least 4 miles an hour for 25 feet. That will set the steering angle sensor. But all your other lights will be on. But as you drive it, they'll all turn off. Having had this car for less than 2 weeks and having to go spend 2 hours at the nearest dealership, 50-some odd miles away at South Austin, and pay them a whole lot of money to make a key talk to the car, I don't want to go to the dealership ever again, especially to reset stuff from a battery change. So I'm going to make sure, and there's also online, I was going to make sure I have voltage going to it. I went to O'Reilly's last night to buy my battery, the new battery, and they're like, well, do it here. We got this thing that plugs in the OBD2 port that provides voltage so you don't lose any of your memory, your radio memory or clock or anything else. Sounds like a great idea. Except when you look online, hi Piper, you're here to help again. Yeah, Piper the shop cat. You haven't been on this car before. Been keeping her out of the shop, keep her off the car, but I drove in the rain the other day, so I got to wash it anyway. They're like, hey, we got a plug that plugs in the OBD2. You won't lose any settings. Piper, I'm working on the battery. Oh well. Except online, quite a few guys have tried that, and their cars are completely dead. They got no anything. So what I did is I put another battery in the front of the trunk, ran a positive, just small wires. All I'm trying to do is keep voltage. Because yes, I could probably go through one of the cigarette lighters, 12-volt power ports that way. But I know with this hooked up this way, and you can see on the positive, there's an actual hole in the terminal, and I just ran the wire through there, twisted it around, and I still haven't loosened that yet. On the negative side, there's a separate grounding terminal. I just did that, positive, negative down there. I've already undone the battery mount. These things were loose. They really were loose. Or not very tight. I'm going to wrap this thing in a glove so we don't have shock and fire and other problems like that. Go to the other side. Move the camera just a hair. My thinking is I will still have all of my settings and I won't have any trouble lights. Because yes, I have a scanner for it already. Because you don't drive a German car without a scanner for the German car. All right. So I can pull this bad boy out. Again, the battery I'm removing showed 12.18 volts this morning. Ugh, can't pick this sucker up. All right, no wires touching anything. Ugh. It's a no-name battery. I can't find a name anywhere on it. Things are heavy. I can see why people go with smaller batteries for weight saving on their car. Getting buzzed by a crop duster. Not sure what he's doing flying around my house this morning, but he's been doing it for an hour or so. Cleaning all the... Okay. If you've ever messed around with radios on vehicles, there's a 1 DIN and a 2 DIN and a 3 DIN. Well, if you look here, those 4 holes. 4 holes right there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those holes are the holes in the Porsche mounting tray. And the battery I'm putting in is DIN size, D-I-N size 7. This is the Cayman S, the 3.4 engine. I'm putting a DIN 7 battery in it. There are things online, or looking online, the non-S cars take a DIN 6 battery. And, threw my microphone around. Yes, there's tape on my finger because when I was cutting the splice for that, I sliced my finger a little bit, and that's just the way it is. Painter's tape works better than Band-Aids when you actually try to get something done, in my experience. But those bolt holes I showed you are, you can put this is an H7 battery, which is the German DIN size for the battery. The non-S Caymans have an H6, and there's an option to put an H8 in. Well, the hole furthest out would do it. I've read that online, but I hadn't seen it before. Okay, let's hook ourselves back up again here. There's lots of videos out there about how to change a battery on these things. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm showing off my voltage retention system. And the terminals look great. I didn't bother putting a brush on them because they look great. And you saw I just had no glove. I can get this off without breaking it. No sparks, which means it was hooked up the entire time. Nice and solid. This battery had 12.84 when I checked it about 30 minutes ago. So going from 12.18 to 12.84, I think that's a good deal. I'm going to undo my, let me zoom out. I'm going to undo my jumper system here. Undo the positive first, just because that's the habit you want to be in. Always undo positive first. And it is touching carpet down there. Nothing else. And I'm going to unwind this. All right, the positive is off. I need the 10. Anyway, painter's tape is a great band-aid, or excuse me, bandage. Don't want to be pushing band-aid. I like Curad anyway. Painter's tape is great if you're working on stuff, so you're not aggravating a cut or getting blood all over things. There's no blood coming out. It's good. All right. So now the car is self-supported. It's on its own. Let's see what happens. Get inside and see what we see. Let's see how it starts too. 9:43 is what it says the time is. That is the time, so I did not lose that. All right. Let's try this out. Now it starts like it's supposed to. Oh yeah. Wait a minute, wait for the radio. Oh, I didn't get the Porsche sign. Oh well. Yes, much better. Let's do that start again. Oh yeah, it jumps to life now. All right. Battery was bad. It's 46 degrees out. Okay. I lost no settings by doing my little jumper wire setup with the other battery. Just something to pass along.